What if humanity's first steps on the moon were only the beginning? Recent astronomical observations suggest we may be on the verge of encountering something far beyond anything we've previously known. Telescopes have detected an object that blocks 22% of the light from a distant star, a significant and irregular dimming. What makes this event extraordinary is not just the scale of the shadow, but what is missing: heat. The object emits no detectable thermal radiation. It's not a comet, a planet, or even dust. This might be the first known example of what scientists are calling engineered invisibility on a stellar scale. In 2024, NASA's Tessenesis Gaia missions identified a sun-like star exhibiting these unusual dimming patterns. The magnitude of light obstruction, 22%, was already surprising. But what truly astonished scientists was the absence of an infrared signature. According to the laws of physics, any object that absorbs this much light should re-emit some of that energy as a heat, similar to how a sunlit sidewalk remains warm even after sunset. Yet when researchers turned the world's most advanced infrared telescopes toward the system, they found nothing, no heat at all. Dr. Jason Wright, a prominent researcher in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, has extensively reviewed the characteristics of theoretical Dyson spheres, hypothetical structures built to harvest a star's energy. He noted that any structure intercepting such a substantial amount of starlight should be detectable in the mid-infrared spectrum. This object, however, defies those expectations. Scientists have given this anomaly a code name, VIRG, 2-to-variable infrared gradient anomaly. For the first time in recorded history, we may have observed a shadow without a corresponding thermal source at approximately 400 kilometers above Earth. Telescopes are observing this celestial event in real time. An object continues to absorb 22% of a star's light while emitting no infrared energy, directly contradicting the Stefan Boltzmann law, foundational principle of thermodynamics. This paradox suggests a possible redirection of energy into dark radiation channels, representing a violation of conventional physics. Everything in the universe that absorbs energy is expected to radiate it somehow. Yet when the James Webb Space Telescope and Spitzer Space Telescope searched for thermal emissions from the object, nothing was detected above the instrument sensitivity threshold. It's as though the energy simply disappears. The most plausible theoretical explanation for this phenomenon comes from cutting-edge quantum physics. Researchers propose that the structure may be an entropic shielding array, capable of diverting absorbed heat into quantum vacua. This would render the object invisible to infrared detectors. While it sounds like science fiction, this idea is supported by research into advanced materials here on Earth. Laboratories are already experimenting with photonic band-gap materials and zero-index metamaterials, both capable of manipulating the flow of light and heat in unprecedented ways. What we're potentially witnessing may be this technology scaled to stellar dimensions, breakthrough beyond any capability humanity currently possesses. This may very well be the first recorded instance of a thermodynamic ghost in space. It's astonishing to think that we can land rovers on Mars and detect black holes billions of light years away. Yet we're only now observing what might be one of the most advanced forms of energy manipulation ever conceived. 50 years ago, during the Apollo missions, one man's vigilance kept the mission from becoming a tragedy. That era marked the height of human engineering, reaching the moon using technology that today seems rudimentary. In contrast, the current discovery may represent a civilization that has not only explored space, but has begun to manipulate it itself. Just as Michael Collins orbited the moon in solitude to ensure his fellow astronauts' safe return, this colossal structure might reflect a civilization's ultimate strategy for survival, controlling and harvesting stellar energy at a scale far beyond our comprehension. To such a civilization, even our greatest achievements could appear as primitive as stone tools. This moment forces us to question where we stand on the cosmic timeline. Are we the first intelligent species to emerge in our galaxy, or simply the most recent? Further analysis of the star's light revealed even more bizarre behavior. Admaro band signals were detected, arriving with microsecond delays temporal. anomalies that could indicate time dilation or controlled regulation of time itself within the structure. If accurate, this would be the first time we've observed something not just manipulating space, but also time. The physics required to create such an effect would be far beyond our current understanding, even more astonishing when AI models, trained in higher dimensional geometry, were fed the dimming data. They generated a structural model matching the dimming profile almost perfectly. The result was a six-dimensional toroidal lattice, suggesting the structure may only partially exist within our familiar four-dimensional spacetime. Like astronaut Mike Collins during the 47-minute intervals he spent in total isolation behind the moon, this megastructure could be existing in a kind of extra-dimensional solitude, invisible except when intersecting with our dimension. This might explain why absorbed energy appears to vanish. It could be rerouted into dimensions we cannot observe. The implications are profound. We may not just be seeing technology more advanced than our own, but a redefinition of the very nature of reality. A civilization that routinely uses higher dimensions could exploit them as effortlessly as we use three-dimensional space. The anomalies don't end with light and time. When astronomers examine the space around the star, they notice gravitational lensing effects inconsistent with normal matter. Light from background stars was bent in ways suggesting a complex and controlled mass distribution. It's possibly maintained by active gravitational manipulation. These microlensing effects indicate that the structure might be using gravitational technology to maintain its position or stability in engineering. Feat far beyond our capabilities, even more peculiar were redshift anomalies that seem to resonate with nearby stars. This has led scientists to speculate about a larger, galactic-scale network, multiple Dyson-like constructs, possibly communicating or coordinating across vast distances. Just as the Apollo missions required global collaboration, including essential data from Australia's Parkes Observatory, this might be evidence of interstellar cooperation or synchronization. If deliberate, these resonant redshift patterns may be a kind of galactic beacon or communication system. The scale of this potential collaboration suggests something even greater than a Type 2 civilization, which harnesses the power of its own star, perhaps the emergence of a Type 3 civilization, one that manipulates energy across entire galaxies. These gravitational and redshift footprints may be remnants of interstellar engineering clues left behind by beings who long since moved on. One of the most spine-chilling discoveries came from advanced signal analysis. SETI researchers detected sequences of prime numbers and Fibonacci ratios embedded in the dimming patterns. These mathematical structures are unlikely to occur naturally and have long been considered hallmarks of intelligent communication. Fourier and wavelet analyses revealed random patterns that matched prime number sequences precisely. The Fibonacci sequence, where each number is the sum of the previous two, occurs naturally in everything from plant biology to galaxy spirals. But to find it encoded in the dimming of a star is a strong indicator of deliberate design. This could be a form of communication meant to be recognized by any advanced species capable of scientific inquiry. Kind of cosmic hello, but the mystery deepens. During the most extreme dimming events, astronomers noticed strange spectral distortions. The light from the star wasn't just being blocked, it was being altered. Evidence of photon compression and exotic redshifts appeared, possibly indicating that specific particles, like dark photons or neutrinos, were being harvested from the star's output. This isn't simple energy collection. It's a highly targeted form of quantum-scale particle extraction. Physicists have proposed that the structure might be accessing so-called dark dimensions, hypothetical realms that exist alongside our own, but are invisible to standard detection methods. These dimensions could serve as waste heat sinks or energy reservoirs, which would explain the lack of infrared radiation. If this theory holds, it would revolutionize physics and redefine what we believe are immutable laws, such as thermodynamics. The energy implications alone are staggering. A civilization capable of extracting only the desired particles from stellar fusion could produce energy with unmatched efficiency, without any of the waste or heat that hampers our systems. The most alarming development comes from predictive modeling. When deep learning algorithms trained on years of telescope data were used to forecast future dimming events, the results showed a disturbing trend. The frequency and depth of dimming are increasing. If this pattern continues, the object may eventually block 100% of the star's light, possibly within decades. This strongly suggests that the structure is undergoing an activation or expansion phase, perhaps as part of a larger long-term deployment. Much like how Apollo astronauts planned for multiple contingencies, the creators of this megastructure may have designed it to unfold in stages over centuries or millennia.